Hi, I'm Marty Nimko. This is starting with a quote from Eric Weiner, the author of The Geography of Bliss. What if everyone had their own personal museum? One exhibit in the Museum of Lisa would feature the dusty plastic tumbler from which Lisa imbibed her first drink. Underneath, a plaque would read, "This is the authentic cup in which Lisa, age 10, mixed together scotch, rum, and gin, acquired from her parents' liquor cabinet." Another exhibit would feature the actual bright orange Pontiac Le Mans convertible she hopped to ride in to run away from home at age 15. And look, over there, a replica of the rehab center in Columbus, Ohio, that Lisa entered at age 19. Next, if you walk this way, we enter the early Tunisian period. Lisa had sobered up and joined the Peace Corps. All is well. But oh no, what is this? A picture of Lisa with a bottle of beer in each hand, a cigarette dangling from the corner of her mouth. We must have entered the relapse era. Anyway, as I said, that's from Eric Weiner, The Geography of Bliss, a former NPR foreign correspondent. We may think about our most memorable experiences, but less often about objects. Those objects can trigger memories of our experiences or illuminate who we were and maybe who we still are. What would the Museum of You include? It may help to think of any old things you still have or your parents are keeping for you. Start with the first object of emotional significance that you can recall. Recent research finds that most people's first recollections start in toddlerhood, earlier than previously thought. Does that say anything about what mattered or still matters to you? Meaning that first object or objects. For example, if an early memory is of hugging a teddy bear, that could foreshadow that affection is primary to that person. If a person's earliest memory is of sneaking into the cookie jar after the parents said, "No more cookies," that might hint of an incipient, rebellious, or even dishonest nature. Now move on to your school years. Think about possessions you had, and perhaps those you craved. Maybe it was a friendship note from a classmate, or the AAA triptych from the family driving vacation in Niagara Falls. Or my favorite possession was a big hi-fi speaker. It was the first big thing I bought from saving up for my allowance. It signified how important music was to me, and still is. It also presaged that I'm comfortable in delaying gratification. Here are some examples from adulthood that might help evoke important items from your life. In young adulthood, perhaps that tie-dyed t-shirt, a basketball uniform, your only A+ on a paper, a picture of or a love letter from your college sweetheart, your transcript, the trophy from finishing second in a road rally, that memento from that study abroad trip program. Now some examples from older adulthood, adulthood after the college years. Your wedding ring, even if you're divorced. Your first offer letter of employment. Your best performance review. A meaningful thank you letter. Maybe your worst performance review that was a wake-up call. The book you chose to reread. One of my favorites is a tiny toy rat, which sits at the base of my computer monitor. I had an actual rat that was scurrying around at night in my attic, and I told a client about it, and when she returned from a business trip to Beijing, she brought me the toy rat. I keep it not because it was funny, although it was, but because the client liked me enough to search out one for me on her business trip. So, as you look at your Museum of You, do you find any common threads? Maybe they say something about your essence or your aspirations. Now think about what common things you excluded from your Museum of You, those pertaining, for example, to travel, romance, work, family, recreation, materialistic items. And finally, do you want to actually assemble those items in one place, an actual Museum of You? In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.